Hey, I'm Odyssey, a Notion recommended creator, and I have survived PTSD and depression. I was diagnosed in 2022, and my treatment involved several hours of EMDR, CBT, and a few hours of mindfulness. This template is inspired by my journey, which involved mood tracking and habit building with my therapist for over a period of 1.5 years. With a lot of discipline, failures, and perseverance, I have found the right ecosystem and coping mechanisms to fight my trauma, and I'm extending my help to anyone who is on a similar journey. This template is perfect for anyone who loves using Notion and is on a healing journey to control their trauma. It is completely beginner friendly and easy to use. You can follow this video to learn how to use it, and I request you to also share it with anyone suffering from PTSD. So, let's take a look at the PTSD Control Kit. This template is divided into 3 goals, which I have divided into 3 steps. The first step is identification and acceptance of the problem, then setting time-focused goals to reduce discomfort, and the last step is changing behavior and habits. I have explained these steps at the beginning of the template so that you can get an overview. Let's look at the first part. Your journey begins with identifying what the problem is. This section is entirely dedicated to recognizing what triggers you as well as discovering positive coping mechanisms. To make this possible, you can use this daily trigger tracker. You get a prompt, "How was your day today?" You can respond with really bad, which is in red, feeling low, which is in orange, all right, which is in yellow, and really good, which is in green. The colors represent the intensity of your mood, which will come in handy later. Once you press one of these buttons, a page gets added to the calendar automatically to your current date. In the page, you can vent your emotions. You can use the cognitive distortion chart on the right to understand your reaction to the problems. Below, you can clearly describe the source of your stress, which is the stressor, the symptoms or reactions you're going through, and the immediate solutions you can think of. You don't need to find groundbreaking solutions that will solve all your problems in the first day itself. It can be as simple as getting up and taking a walk or anything that helps you feel better at the moment. What about the days that are not as anxious? You should add those days in the calendar too. For your good days or green days, you focus on the positive stressors. It can be 8 hours of sleep, a great conversation with an old friend, or having an ice cream in the park. Express how you feel and affirm how these big or little moments helped you. Noting these positive actions will help you later in the last stage where you can build positive habits. We will talk about that later. You need to track your triggers and mood regularly for at least 3 to 6 months to see repetitive patterns. You can take more time if you want. You will know that it is working when you see a web of actions, environments, and situations that trigger you consistently. You will also know what helps you in those down moments and how you solve them. You get an overall reminder that not all days are bad. Some days are extremely good, and there are tasks that make you feel better even in your worst days. Once you start seeing these tropes, you can add your common symptoms, stressors, and solutions in this section of your page. This way, you don't have to write the same things again and again. You can simply select from the previously experienced options. Now it's time to provide a clear structure to your problems and solutions. Jot your common stressors, symptoms, and solutions in bullet points according to red, orange, yellow, and green days in the trigger zones and interventions section. Be as straightforward as possible for clarity. Now let's form these bullet points into sentences in the next section where you affirm your problems and solutions. These prompts will help you summarize what you are going through and add a perspective to your story. Recognizing and accepting your problems is the most difficult step. If you have reached this far, you must congratulate yourself for getting over this phase. Now let's move on to the next step, which is setting time-focused goals to reduce discomfort. Very simply put, we will focus on adding positive events and coping mechanisms in your daily routine and subtracting the negative ones in the next 6 months. Our goal here is to predict stressful situations and avoid them, basically increasing green days and reducing red, orange, and yellow days. We have to create an emotional environment where positive stressors are more probable. You can look at your red, orange, and yellow days to know the negative sources. You need to avoid them. You can look at your green days to understand what leads to a happier day. I have added 6 months as it takes a long time for habits to become a lifestyle. You can take longer or shorter time depending on the intensity of your trauma. My advice to you is start with simple goals first and then move towards the harder ones. Take your time to work on this section. Do not try to achieve everything within the first month. You can focus 1 month at a time. You will get more clarity as you go on. Now let's move on to the final step of changing behavior and habit building. Are you ready to finally take action? But first, let me be honest with you. This will not be an easy journey. There will be days when you feel low despite being prepared for a good day. After all, life is unpredictable. To make this journey easy, you need to follow some productive habits daily to stay prepared for an accident. This will help you avoid relapse when things go wrong. For example, you can follow a routine after waking up and before going to bed. It can be a small prayer, a nice face wash, journaling, or even taking 20 deep breaths. This instills a discipline that brings your mind and body back on track when you lose balance. I highly recommend doing a physical activity of your choice as it improves mental well-being. It can be as simple as walking for 30 minutes. Staying idle for a long time only increases anxious thoughts. Think of simple and affordable things to do, like cooking, gardening, organizing your kitchen, etc., that you like doing at home. When there is a lot of chaos in your life, simple problem-solving tasks like folding your clothes feel like a great achievement. You can also think of comfort movies, podcasts, and food that fill your soul when you feel unproductive. You can write these examples on this section. Now look at the list of your positive stressors and coping mechanisms that you need to increase. Combine these with your positive routines and add it to the habit tracker checklist. I have added checklists for 6 months, but when you start, just focus on the first month and then move to the next. Choose simpler habits at the beginning, which eventually help you gather the strength to fight the tough ones. Over time, you will see your habits turn into a lifestyle. Be kind to yourself, and gradually, you will be able to create an environment where you will have more calmer days. It worked for me, and I can assure you it is worth the try. That's all for the tutorial. I hope you make the most out of this template, and I congratulate you for taking this important step to change your life. Please share this video to anyone you know who can benefit from this template. You can subscribe to my channel for more updates. Take care. Bye.